Hello Zane Gang, today we'll be going over the best way to farm for artifacts. If you are not yet, please make sure you are in the Discord in the pinned comment down below, and you are in the Twitch to catch me when I am live. Please also make sure you are subscribed to the channel for some more content like this, and let's jump right into it. Now, what is an artifact or a relic? I call it a relic sometimes. When I say that, I do mean artifact. Artifact is the very last slot you get on your character down here on the bottom right. This is probably the hardest slot to fill because you need a almost perfect thing for it to even be usable. Otherwise, you're kind of just wasting the slot. So let's go over how these work. So there's a prefix, a suffix, and then the random roll. So the prefix on this is the snowdrift. The suffix is the victory rush, and then the bottom rolls are the SMG, mag size, and cryo resistance. Now, a lot of people will ask me, where do I farm for a snowdrift? Where do I farm for an elemental projector or last stand? And that's not the correct question. The correct question is to where to farm for a victory rush. Weirdly enough, when you farm for relics, you do not farm for the prefix, you farm for the suffix. You find the suffix you want, and then you farm that until you get the prefix and the bottom rolls of that suffix. So for example, if I wanted a victory rush, I would go farm Sloth in Conrad's Hold, and until he dropped a snowdrift victory rush with the rolls I wanted. So there you go, that's where you farm the victory rush. Let's go over the few other artifacts. Next we have the Moxie's Endowment. I'm bad at pronouncing things, but I try my best. Moxie's Endowment gives you extra experience when killing stuff. It's very good for farming guardian ranks, or I guess maybe leveling up in general, but you can't use a maxed out one then. I used it for guardian ranks back in the day. Again, to farm this one, you will need to farm Grave Ward. He drops it quite frequently. If you were to go for a Moxie's Endowment, I would go for one with experience boost on the bottom even. Then you can get a 15% experience boost altogether. I have tested this, and there is a video on it if you are interested in how the experience actually works. This used to be one of my favorite relics in the game. It's still really good for boss farming. We have the Loaded Dice. Minus 75% health and substantially increases your luck. Now, if you don't know, luck increases your world drop legendary rate, so it makes it so random legendaries pop out more often from badasses or even from bosses. So it's a very good relic to use when farming bosses. You get this bad boy from Agonizer 9000. Pretty easy to farm it out. This is the Auto Idol. This is a really good relic for Flak. It's good on some of the other Vault Hunters too, but I like using it on Flak the most to give him a little bit of sustainment. It restores 18% of your max health after killing an enemy. So it gives you that little bit of sustainment. To farm for this artifact, you need to be farming at Tyrene, the very last boss of the game. She drops it pretty frequently with the farming frenzy rate up. The very last artifact we will go over is kind of niche because you only use this artifact on Moes. It is called the Deathless. It reserves all but 1 HP, plus 100% shield capacity, minus 20% shield recharge delay, and plus 25% shield recharge rate. So it doubles her shield and brings her down to 1 HP, which will give her extra damage with one of her skills, which is great. I went for a Snowdrift Deathless just to give Moes a little bit of movement speed. To farm for the Deathless, you will need to farm the Phoenix in the Splinterlands. Alright, one last little tip for you guys when farming artifacts. So, if you guys did not know, Mayhem mode only increases anointed rate. Well, it also increases the amount of world drop legendaries drop, but it also actually does not increase the amount of dedicated loot that drops. And when you're farming for these artifacts that I have referenced, they will be dropping as dedicated loot rather than world drop loot. So farming on Mayhem 1 through 4 will not make any difference on the quality of the artifact that drops for you, since they cannot be anointed. That's really crazy, but I am condoning you to play on normal TVHM without Mayhem, or Mayhem 1 if you have trouble farming these, because it will not increase your chance of getting it on the higher Mayhem. If you can handle these bosses and enemies on Mayhem 4, I suggest you to be farming it on that, because everything else that drops will be anointed. But if you are just starting out and you really need an artifact bad, you don't need to be on high mayhems to farm for artifacts. You will get the same amount of artifacts if you turn mayhem mode off. Hope that helps you. That is the end of the video, guys. Please give me a thumbs up if it helps you out at all. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel for some more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Spikes out!